welcome back to Welcome Grove Homestead. This week has been a really crazy week. We've had some crazy low downs and we're getting a few wins, which is good, but I'll tell you, sometimes this farming thing can be really challenging. Now of course my goal is not to discourage anyone ever from pursuing their dreams, but I want to be completely honest about my experience with what we are doing and how it's going. So we got a couple of not so great updates, but we do have some other exciting updates. Oh, look, it's that guy I know doing a thing.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
It's a little fancy project. You want to explain to people what you're doing right here with this particular thing?
I am building an A-frame. This is a chicken tractor for meat birds, and I am creating a basically a wheel system that will be able to be activated and not activated if we're moving or not. So it's up, meaning it can sit flat on the ground here, and then when it's activated, the wheel will go down below the bottom of the coop, force it up, and we'll be kind of set. So I just got to figure out all the different angles of cuts to put blocks in place where the wheel's at the right spot. Otherwise, it's great. I'm really happy with it so far.
Fancy.
So yeah.
Now that thing is looking quite ginormous and heavy.
It is looking ginormous and heavy, but that's why we have a side by side. We have something. We have this thing that can pull it, I think, maybe. You know, whatever.
Okay, well, it's looking pretty
yeah,
awesome.
It's coming along. There's a few gaps that have to be filled in still, by wire.
Yeah. I don't think the birds will stay in it right now.
No, they're actually going in and out right now. All these birds are enjoying the adventure. Now, you will see eventually we will put hardware cloth on it instead of chicken wire. The name chicken wire kind of is a misnomer when it comes to actual security, because chicken wire can actually be broken through. Doesn't really keep the chickens secure, so we're going to put hardware cloth, which is really itty bitty squares anywhere that like raccoons would be able to reach in, or rats would be able to get in there, so that so we're fighting off predators and natural weather elements as well. So we're looking forward to it. It's coming along.
So this chicken is going in the chicken house.
She looks so happy.
Yeah.
Sweetie is the sweetest chicken ever.
Her name is Sweetie because we can just walk up to her.
She's a nice chicken.
And catch her.
No, I like her.
Yeah, I'm working on the project and she'll just come up and be like,
pick me up.
love me.
She's a nice chicken. Hello, little lambs. All right, so chicken tractor is coming along for our meat birds. We're excited about that. It's going great. That's a nice thing that's happening this week. I've not been looking forward to making this video because I have more bad news for you guys. It feels like we just recently put out a video that we had a significant loss. Well, we had another significant loss. One of our pregnant ewes, Esther, actually passed away this week. I was feeding them. We were, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit farther back. Last week, I was feeding the sheep and she got what is called choke in livestock, where they have an obstructed esophagus, but not an obstructed airway. So she was breathing, but she couldn't swallow, she was drooling, and we managed to fix that with a lot of massage and kind of flushing water down her esophagus and making her swallow it. She choked on alfalfa pellets, and I thought, okay, you know what, she was just eating too fast, so I tried to slow down feeding her, and she did great the next day. And this week, unfortunately, she did choke again, but it was much more severe. And my takeaway is that sheep just cannot have dry alfalfa pellets, no matter how slowly you feed them. They're incredibly dumb. And her entire esophagus was just impacted with alfalfa pellets that had started to swell in her esophagus, and there was really nothing that we could do. I was right there the whole time. We did everything. And at one point she tried to regurgitate, like she would regurgitate a cud or something, and somehow she blocked an airway somewhere, and we just could not get that airway back. And as soon as we determined that she was gone, we performed a C-section to try and save her lamb, but unfortunately it was still a little too early, and the lamb didn't make it either. So that one was a really, 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 really hard loss. That was the first time that I have really gone toe-to-toe with an emergency situation and lost. And I'm furious with myself that I had continued to feed her alfalfa pellets. I mean, granted, I tried to change things. I tried to feed her slower and see if that helped, but it didn't. And unfortunately, we lost a really valuable animal because of that. So we're being really careful with our remaining sheep. They do not get dry alfalfa pellets. It gets soaked. We set it to soak in the morning. It soaks throughout the day, and then they are fed that alfalfa in the evening. That is not going to be their general practice, but right now, at the end of their pregnancy, beginning their lactation, they kind of need that additional support because there's just not a ton to eat. There's not a ton to graze on. So we're trying to provide them with that additional support to help them develop those lambs the rest of the way, to help them start feeding those lambs. So it's a heavy hit that we lost Esther and her lamb, but we still have 2 pregnant ewes, and we have Naomi with her happy, healthy triplets, and they're doing great. It circles back around to just the phrase that if you're gonna have livestock, you're gonna have dead stock. I am not trying to minimize that loss at all, because it is significant, and it is a life, and it's tragic. So we lost her, but you gotta pick up and you gotta keep going and keep taking care of the animals that you still have. We were able to get her processed and in the freezer, so it wasn't a complete loss. Of course, we were not planning on eating her, but I would rather consume her than just throw away all of that meat just because there was an emotional moment. So it's a hard hit, but you just got to keep going. So now that I've hit you guys with some bad news, let's hit you guys with some good news. And that is we have more baby bunnies that landed a couple days ago. Alright, so I am up here in the rabbitry, and we have 3 litters now of baby bunnies up here. The first one is Miss Morgana's babies. They were born on Valentine's Day. So they are in the nest box, just hanging out. Hi babies, being absolutely adorable. As a inexperienced first-time mom, Morgana has lost 2, so she started with 8, we're down to 6, but these 6 are looking really good. They're nice and fat, they're well fed, so I think that she's really starting to get the hang of it, and I hope to have a higher survival rate with her next litter. Now Miss Annabelle over here is also a first-time mom, and she had a massive litter at a whopping 10 babies on Leap Day. So we have got 10 Leap Day babies. I'm going to pull those out. So I want to show you guys these babies, as they are pretty small because it is a large litter. But we bred Annabelle with Merlin here, and we can already see that we've definitely got some Harlequin babies. We've got one baby that is booted like the mom. Booted means that it has white feet without a lot of white on the body, and it has like a little blaze on its face. So let's take those babies out and take a look. Okay, so that is her massive litter of 10 babies. We definitely got some little amber colored babies, just like Mom. And then her little booted one is this one. You can see it's got like a little blaze on its face, and it's gonna have white feet. So super cute. This one actually might be a tricolor. Gotta wait and see if those colors come in, but it also might just be a harlequin. But super cute babies. We're gonna get these babies back in the nest and back in with Mom. The other new mom is Miss Juniper. She is not a first-time mom, and she pulled so much fur, we were able to actually steal some of the fluff out of her nest to pad Annabelle's nest, because Annabelle didn't pull enough fur. Her babies were okay, but we would have been more happy if she had pulled more, but this lady over here pulled so much fur, we were able to steal a good-sized handful of it to put in Annabelle's nest to make sure those babies stay nice and warm. So, Juniper, she didn't have a super smooth delivery. She did have one baby on the wire, and we tried really, really hard. It was alive when we found it, but it didn't make it. So, we did lose one, and there was one dead in the nest box that it had died like earlier than delivery. It was definitely underdeveloped, and she had been cleaning that one up, and unfortunately another baby, like, sometimes if a baby gets in the way of Mom cleaning up, then injuries happen, and unfortunately we did have an injury to another baby while she was cleaning up the one. So 3 were lost. Two were born alive and 1 was not. But the remaining 5 in her litter are doing fine. So she's got 5 to raise in this litter. And honestly, I'm okay with her having a slightly smaller litter, because if Annabelle ends up needing help with her babies, like, so far she's doing great. They're all fed. They're doing really well. But if any of those babies start to decline in the first few days here, we can just throw them in with Juniper's, because she's got less babies to raise, so she has more milk to go around. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out Juniper's babies. Now, her I bred to Lancelot, who is our broken amber buck. We'll take a quick look at him, and then we'll take a look at the babies. Hello, handsome. Hey, Lance. Hey, buddy. Yeah. So this is Lancelot. He is the daddy to Juniper's litter. He's a nice dude. Here is Juniper's litter. We've got a couple of broken black, looks like. Maybe broken castor. It's hard to tell in the early stages here, but nobody is showing any of that red gene right now. But these babies look really good. They're really healthy. These ones were actually born yesterday, which was March 1st. And they're looking really nice and healthy. They're really big compared to Annabelle's, but that is because there are fewer of them, so they just got bigger. So these guys look great. Nice and well fed, really active. So pretty happy with them. Baby bunnies are very exciting. Got them in the nest boxes. Can't wait to see their colors with some of our new combinations with the newer bucks coming in, and oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, so that's another good update. Now I'm going to give another update that is, it's not bad per se. Well, okay, oh, you know what? It's bad. It has not been great. And that has to do with our new milk cow, Callie. So Callie is grazing out in the pasture behind me. That little dot out there. She has had a rough couple of days of milking 2 cows, trying to balance out their diet between the 2 of them. Callie is not a fan of alfalfa pellets. Fine. But I would like to have alfalfa in her diet as a dairy animal. And Claire ate them just fine. But so we decided to try another route, and what was recommended to me by a friend who runs a small dairy is to try soaked alfalfa cubes. The dry cubes they're just too hard, they're too big, it's not ideal to feed them as a dry whole cube. So soaked them, softened them, that expanded them exponentially, and mix it into their grain, and Callie loved it. She devoured it. However, because she had not been eating her alfalfa pellets before, it was a little bit too much of a change for her, and she went off feed for a couple of days. So she already wasn't super heavy to begin with. Like she was fairly thin, so she was gaining weight, and then she stopped eating for a couple of days. So her weight dropped back down, her milk production drops pretty significantly, but as of last night and this morning, we've got her coming around. She's eating again, so we're going to very, 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 very slowly work on introducing alfalfa to her diet after I can get her to gain some healthy weight. So it's not a terrible thing that happened, but it's not a great thing. It's just been another thing that adds to my stress this week, and yeah. So farming is not for the faint of heart. There is troubleshooting and diva cows all the time. She's looking a little bit thinner, which is not ideal. But now that she's started eating again, she should definitely start putting some weight on. I know, she says, what is that weird thing that you're holding? Hi. I know, sweetheart. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, it's okay. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, she's a sweet girl. There we go, good girl. Yeah, she's a nice cow. So she definitely had me worried there for a couple of days, but now she's eating, she's doing better. But I want to do a huge shout out to my friend Lori, who she runs a small Jersey farm, and she has had cows forever. So she was helping me troubleshoot and giving me treatment options and ideas, and she ended up giving me some of these rumen pills. I actually don't know what they're called. I'll have to ask her what they are, what the product is, but basically it's a pill, which is, they're like the length of my finger, and give that to them with a balling gun, and which a balling gun is basically, it's a pill delivery system for livestock. So the one that I have is plastic. It's for cows. It's just so that you can get it back behind their teeth. They can't chew it up and spit it out. So gave her 3 of those, 1 a day for 3 days. And it's supposed to like reset her rumen. And after her second one was when she started to eat. So huge thank you to Lori for working with me on that, troubleshooting, and kind of just worrying with me and praying with me about my cow. She's been there with me. She helped me when Claire got sick last summer. She got pneumonia, and she's just an awesome resource to have. So anybody who is looking to get into dairy cows, you gotta find someone local in your area who has experience and can help you navigate some of these issues. Because I mean, I would have been so lost with the problems that we have had, and potentially could have lost cows if I had not had someone to either affirm my decisions or ideas on what I think was going on, or to say, well, I think it's actually this. So huge help And it also saves a lot on calling a vet out over something that potentially could be nothing. So like this situation, got her rebooted on our own without having to call a vet, and she's doing much better. She'll start gaining weight. She's gonna bounce back just fine. So another awesome update that happened this week is that we got a squeeze chute. So we got a cattle squeeze. We picked it up just a few days ago, so it's actually still on the trailer because David's tractor was not big enough to get it off the trailer. So a friend and neighbor of ours just came over with his tractor that has the horsepower to be able to lift it off the truck and hopefully get it settled next to the barn. We're not ready to install it yet, but it's here and it's exciting. So let's take a look at it.
Amore.
Howdy. How
Hi.
you doing? This is my buddy Kyle.
Hi.
Kyle's a resident superhero with a bigger tractor than me. You know that saying I have, buy as much horsepower as you can? Well, I couldn't buy as much horsepower as he did. And so it's awesome to have a buddy who can help at a moment's notice. And we only live like a few minutes from each other, so that big old tractor, clown card, 3 kids, and an awesome friend out.
Oh yeah, Barnum and Bailey.
Yep.
Well-
What the plan here is we're going to use the forks of the forklift to lift this up, take it off the tractor. We're just trying to figure out where we're going to do the actual transfer, and you can see what we do in a minute. As soon as we figure it out.
This seems a little tight.
Well, we thrive in small places.
All right. Well done. So eventually it will be installed in this vicinity. For now, it's here. Not usable yet, but it's here.
Now for anybody who is unfamiliar with livestock equipment, this is a cattle squeeze. So basically the way that it is designed, let's go around to the other side here. It is designed so that cows can walk through this side. This opens up to be much wider. And basically when their head is through here, when it's open, you can close it to lock the cow in place, and then you're able to do things like medical treatments or artificial insemination on a not so tame cow. There's all sorts of uses for a cattle squeeze, so we'll be able to do a lot more things with our cattle. The chief thing among them will be the possibility that we will have to AI artificially inseminate our beef cattle. So, because the dairy girls, not a problem. They readily come in and out to the head gates. They're easy to deal with on that in that respect. So beef cattle are not tame, not used to people being hands all over them. So it's going to be a lot easier and a lot safer for us to be able to put them into a squeeze, to immobilize them, and that keeps them from being able to kick us, hit us, whatever, and if they have any medical needs, we're able to address those. Hey everybody, so I was just inside the house editing this video and realized that I forgot to actually close it out, and it seemed rather an abrupt end to this video, so I decided I should pop out and go ahead and close it. So anyway, we've definitely had some disappointing developments over the last week. But we've got some positive things, we've got good things on the horizon, so we are definitely looking forward to the rest of our lambing season and our kidding season, and spring is here, guys. Maybe not like officially here, but oh, it's feeling awful springy. We got warm days and nice weather up ahead, so it really helps brighten the spirits. So thank you so much for joining us today. As always, this is your country nerd with a goat herd saying that you can grow where you're planted.